Guys, we got a lot to talk about. Bitcoin broke the low. Is it over? Is the bear market here? Well, there's two options. We basically, hit the downside pretty hard. And now we have two options. And TA is not about giving us the direction, it's about giving us options and seeing which option is the most likely to occur, right? So the original idea obviously has been an ABC from this 5-wave leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Obviously we came up and we broke the low, right? That was essentially a really, really good setup under a really crappy environment. So, you can't really blame crypto completely because all of this carnage happened in the stock market. I mean, if you look at the Japanese stock market, it had the worst crash since Black Monday in 1987. So this is a liquidation event. This is a sort of extreme event that happens once in a great while. I mean, we haven't seen anything like this since COVID, right? So this is a massive move. Now, since this is acting like COVID, I'm going to compare it to COVID, right? Because I think now that I'm looking at it, now that my eyeballs are adjusting to this, right? Now I can tell you what it is. It's a broadening wedge, but what the hell does that mean, right? Well, that's exactly what happened over here, guys. So you can see something similar right here, right? So this is like painting a picture, and we talked about this scenario briefly, very, very briefly. I wish I, looking back, had spent more time on it, but it is what it is. So basically what we have here is what's going on, what happened back in 2020. You can see it very, 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 very clearly, right? We have our bull market, we have our bear market, we have our capitulation, we have our base, we have our retrace, and now, we're getting back up to all-time highs, not completely like we are now, but, getting up there, right? And then what happens? And then we have an A, B, and it looks like a C. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in C. So A, B, C. Right? So fair enough. Now let's blast off. Now we're going to have a 5-wave move. We're going to have an ABC pullback, and we're going to blast off to the moon. Right? That's what it looked like. But that's exactly what never happened. What happened? We crashed. We had a massive, massive, massive crash. Huge, unbelievably crash. All the way back down to our base. Very, 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 very disturbing, right? This was huge based off the broadening wedge, right? It was pretty huge. So if we look at what's happening now, this is a baby. This is a little tiny baby, right? But here's the thing. When you put it on log scale, now which one's the baby? This one's the baby, right? Look at this, and now look at this, right? The proportions are off, right? So that's why I just like to look at it on log. It makes more sense, right? I can kind of give both of them the same size, right? By the way, how we doing out there? Huh? How we doing out there? You doing all right? Listen, if you're not doing all right, this is what puts hair on your chest. This is what makes an investor basically shed its skin and transform into something bigger than themselves. This is an experience that only a few have went through, and going through this experience is only going to make you a better individual, right? So when we look at this, right, and we look at this, we can say, yeah, it looks the same, right? And let's go through that. So the same thing, right? We had a bull market, same thing. We had our crash, right? We had our capitulation in here. We had our base, right? We had our retrace. And then what do we have? We had our ABC, perfect. We had a 5-way move to the upside, but we didn't get an ABC. We got a crash. Okay? So this is exactly what's happening here. Right? So what does that mean? Well, what happened after this happened? Right? Because all we're trying to do is figure out the next move, right? So obviously, if you listen to a lot of analysts, nobody could have predicted something so insanely quick, right? And again, this is not crypto. This is the stock market. This is the inner workings of the liquidity. This is a margin call. If you look at the VIX, the volatility index, it was basically going parabolic, right? So this is like I've always said, unless we don't get a stock market crash, right? I say this is all contingent on the environment being good, right? So if the environment is good, then the count has a higher probability of working. But since that wasn't the case, and we had a stock market sort of massive liquidation event, what happens? There's a margin call. And what does that mean? That means you have to pay up. Well, what if I don't have money to pay up? Let's say I'm a millionaire, right? And I got 10 million in the stock market, and the market is crashing, right? And now it's going below my entry level, and now I'm underwater. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to wait it out. Well, guess what? Now we're in the month of August, and basically I have to pay up. So there's a margin call. So if I don't have the money to pay up, what do? They liquidate my account. They liquidate me. Okay, so they hit liquidation and they take my money away. Now I have nothing. So what do? I go sell my gold, I sell my silver, I sell my Bitcoin, I sell my VeChain, I sell my THETA, I sell my XRP. You see what I mean? So this is not THETA. This is not Bitcoin. This is not XRP. I mean, XRP, oh my God. It didn't even break the low. XRP is the strongest asset during this crash. Every asset broke the low. I think. I haven't even looked at all of them yet. But XRP, oh my God. It is the only one. Like, I can't even, really XRP? XRP is usually the one that's being beaten up so bad. Maybe because it's gotten beaten up and bruised so bad, XRP's like, you know what? You can throw anything at me. I've been through hell and back. So this is nothing. This is a walk in the park for me, right? I cannot believe XRP did not break the low, right? Most, you had a 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, and everything just died. But XRP is chilling out right here, right? Why? Because when you look left, there's so much support. There's a lot of support, right? When you look at, coins like ADA, VeChain, THETA, Ethereum, Matic, Filecoin, Bitcoin, right? What do? They're all going up, and then they're coming down. But XRP is kind of going up and going sideways. It's been going sideways for a whole year. I mean, it's been going sideways even longer than that, right? So anyways, let me get back on track here. So in other words, it's not crypto's fault, right? Crypto is in this new world of what we call liquidity. And it has to sort of fit in. It's like the new kid, right? It's like, imagine a parent who moves from California to Michigan, or from New Zealand to Japan, I don't know, right? And the kid has to fit into the new environment. He has to fit into the new school, to the new rules, to the new politics, right? Or even the adult too, right? So crypto is kind of like in this new world that it's been born into, and it has to fit in to the market, right? And who's the king? It's the bond market. It's the bond market, the debt market, right? And then after that, the stock market, right? And then what's the glue that's holding it together? It's the dollar, the forex market, the currency market. And where is crypto in all of that? It's a little tiny speck, right? So if somebody gets sick and that little tiny speck is a red blood cell, or part of you, that thing's going to get sick too. That speck is going to get sick as well, right? So if you look at the market, what are we calling it? Well, the market has been going out and partying every weekend. It gets up, it goes out, it drinks beer, and it drinks alcohol, and it's having a good time, right? And actually, let me go to the stock market here. Sorry, I thought I hit pause. Basically, I mean, you can see down here, here's all the months: February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So this is a lot of time here, right? And look how much down we went in a short amount of time. Look at all those gaps in there. So we're crashing pretty hard here. So it's not insanely bad. Like when I zoom out, it's not too bad. I mean, it's still pretty small compared to what happened. Where's C19? Yeah, look at what happened to C19. I mean, that was really bad. So that's the thing. The worry now is it going to turn into this? Is it going to turn in to something like this, right? Let's go to the 2-week chart, zoom out a little bit. And there we go. So, is this going to turn in to this right here, right? So again, look at the stock market, right? It's going up. I was born in 1992, right about in there, okay? So since I was born, it's going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. So it's had a lot of partying, basically. A lot of, getting high, right? I mean, it's continuing, right? So what are we seeing now when we zoom in? Well, what happens when you go out and you drink too much? You get sick, right? And what happens? You throw up. So what does the stock market do? It's purging itself, okay? We're seeing a purge. That's probably my title of the video. P-U-R-G-E, purge. It is purging, right? So it is basically throwing up all the toxic crap. And what is all the toxic crap? All the bad trades. And what is the bad trades? All the over-leveraged bulls, really, because this is a bull liquidation event, not a bear, right? Because if you look, we've been getting bullish liquidation events, right? Look at that. That was a huge bullish liquidation. I mean, we were coming down here, and look what it does. It likes to bottleneck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blast off. Okay? So it likes to happen in fives. Remember, the market moves in fives and threes, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the first has a third, and the second has a third has a third, right? So it happened on the 5th, right? Now, if we go to Bitcoin here, what do you think's happening? We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What happens next? Blast off. Okay, so is Crypto Brandon bullish? Is he still bullish? Is he still sticking with his guns? Is he still on board here? Is he still on track? Well, I am going to tell you that this kind of crash, how fast it is not going to sustain. Now, it can keep coming down here, and I would imagine, let's see where it went to approximately. Okay, so we haven't even back tested this yet, right? We haven't even back tested this yet. I would expect that there's probably more downside, unfortunately, because now my target here is about 47K. So once we get down to 47K, even 50K, where did we hit exactly? All right, we went below 50, so that's good. But the market is capitulating, guys. This is a capitulation. This is not. You can see here. See how corrective it moves? It's corrective. This is a massive impulse to the downside. Now, really, it comes down to two things. Remember the two things I talked about, and the two things are either, obviously this is very bullish, or it's going to continue down. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes, right? So what are the ideas? Well, we can see right here, this is the count that we've been thinking about for a long time, which is W, X, Y, X, Z. We got it. It looks perfect. It's a descending broadening wedge. We got 5 waves. It's still a corrective wave. No matter how you slice it and dice it, this is corrective. I still say we're going up. How dare Crypto Brandon say that? How dare he say that right now? Because it goes against everything what I'm feeling, right? People's emotion. People don't want to hear anything bullish. If you talk bullish to them, they're going to get angry, okay? Why? Because that's just the way it goes, right? When people flip bearish, and everybody should be bearish right now, by the way. Everybody should be bearish. This is not about right now, though. This is about what happens after this move, right? Obviously, this move here is bearish. Now it can be even more bearish, right? But as long as it stays within the confines of this broadening wedge, then there's nothing that I can say, or there's nothing I can really show you, except that that's exactly what happened here. This is the same thing. I mean, you can see, right? We had this impulse to the upside, and you can see this sharp move to the downside, right? And that sharp move happened when? 1, 2, right? And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's C, A, B, C. And then this should be the 5-way move with a 3-way pullback, but that was the dump. That's exactly, right? Let me just put this here. There we go. That's exactly what is probably happening here. And you can see the 5th wave, just like this 5th wave, was the most impulsive. It was the most, super just a nasty move, right? So if we zoom in to this and we look back here, we haven't had a C19 style crash. I mean, you could say FTX, but it wasn't still that bad compared to C19. You could see what happened, right? We kind of bottlenecked in here, and then we just tanked. But then it was over, and then we kind of went up. We made a little roundabout. We shot up. We got right back to where we needed to be, and then we just basically continued our bull run here. Now, I don't think it's going to happen like this. I don't think that's the case. What I think is happening here is a few different things, really. And one of it is very bearish. Now let's jump into that. So I showed you what I think is going to happen. This is my main idea now, right? This is the main idea, which is a descending broadening wedge in a fourth wave. And inside that descending broadening wedge, you have a WXYXZ. So it's a triple combo correction. So when you go to TradingView, right, let's go down to Elliott waves. You can see, here's our pattern. So you got an, I don't really do these patterns, the ciphers. You can see them all, right? Different strategies here. But I use Elliott wave impulse, Elliott wave triangle, Elliott wave correction, Elliott a double combo wave, or a triple combo wave. Okay, so that's what we have. It's like we're in Jack in the Box and we're ordering a triple combo or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to lighten up the mood here because I know a lot of people are feeling the pain. But you know what? At the end of the day, this is crypto. Right? If your money is not going up hundreds of percents and down hundreds of percents, then you're not in the right class, right? So this is not the time to panic. This is the time to say, okay, what else you got, right? Remember, we still got the XRP lawsuit. It's going to help all of crypto. We still got Trump becoming president in less than, I think, 90 days now, right? We have regulations coming, right? Who would in their right mind sell when they know the Fed is going to cut rates, right? The markets are just getting beaten up to hell, right? Because of liquidation events. So what do the market needs? The market needs a love. The market needs some love. Where does the love come from? The Fed. And what is the Fed going to do? QE. Right? They have no choice. They're stuck. They're screwed. So that means inflation is going to get worse. Interest rates are going to come down. Right? Are they going to protect the market from catastrophic failure? Or are they going to print money and destroy the economy? Right? So no matter what happens, the financial system is stuck in between a rock and a hard place. That is why we must buy crypto, right? And you can say, well, why? Crypto's crashing. Because it doesn't matter, right? We know the game they play. We play our game, they play their game. I am stacking my pennies next to their dollars, okay? That's what we should be doing, right? So if this correction is making you think twice about crypto, I don't know, should I sell my crypto? Should I get out of crypto? This is not the time to sell. You do not want to sell during a liquidation event. Yes, it could get worse, but you don't know when the bottom really comes in, right? And chances are, every time that I've panic sold, and I've done it many times, right? This is why I have the experience. It all turned into a disaster because when I look back maybe 4 to 6 weeks after the fact that I sold, I was like, damn, I should have never sold. I should have just held it. I should have just looked away, tightened up my stomach, bit my tongue, and looked away and said, screw it, right? But here's the thing: if you're in leverage, that's a different story. If you're trading, that's a different story, right? But most people here are hodlers. Most people are investors, right? So my stop loss got triggered. I got stopped out. It happens, but it's okay. It is what it is, right? I wasn't expecting this. Nobody expects a huge liquidation event, right, to take place until it happens. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes, right? But we know the risk, right? We know the risk, and obviously there was I thought a good 65-75% chance we can go into retracement, but we broke the low here. So now all that's doing to my probability is increasing it even more, right? The more things go down, the more likely you're going to get a big bounce, right? Because there's a lot of let's go to the 4-hour here. I mean, you can see how you can just look at it symmetrically, right? It comes down, comes back up, comes down, comes back up, comes down. What do you think is going to happen? You think it's just going to keep going down, 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 down? It could, but that's just not likely. What's more likely is, I think it's going to come down a little bit more, but I think ultimately it's going to come back. It has to retrace, right? Now, here's what we do, guys. This is what we do. Now, typically I'm going to save this more for memberships, right? If you want to join the membership, you can click where the subscribe button is and click join. I'll be doing member only videos from time to time, basically at big pivotal moments, kind of like where we are now, and telling you what I would do. Okay, so I would have my support line right about here, and even go as far as right about there. So what I would do actually is I would wait for this price to sort itself out. Okay, so if we get back up here and we get rejected and we come back down, that would be a good place to get out. If you want to get out. I'm not getting out. I'm just saying, if you can't handle it, if people out there cannot handle it, right, then they're not real hodlers. They, it is what it is, right? So, but if you want to get out, or if you're stuck in a trade, I would wait till we get up here. Okay, I think that's going to happen, right? Because waves don't just go down, 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 down. They're going to have pullbacks, right? Remember, we got 5s and 3s. So obviously, this to me looks like 1, 2, and then all of this is wave 3, right? So I'm waiting for wave 4. That's when you want to get out. Get out on a wave 4, and then you're going to come back down, and then you're going to get wave 5. And then you're going to get divergence between the 4th and the 5th. So if you want to get out here and then re-enter here, that would be a good idea, and that will dramatically cut your risk, right? For me, I just kind of, if we come up here and we have a little bit of a 3-way pullback and we break out, right, and then we come back and we back test, then we can enter here, right? We can enter. So some people are already out of the market, right? They already exited. So if you're one of those people and you want to get back in, right, obviously I would wait for the divergence, or I would wait until we break back and we hold support, because if we come up and we get rejected here, we can easily just continue down, right? So I'll be going more over this stuff at a later time. Okay, but I'm just saying, if you want to keep an eye on it. But it is definitely a big rush of emotions right now, running through Twitter, through YouTube. Everybody has their theory. Everybody has their idea. Look, I might be totally wrong. I'm just a guy who's giving you my honest opinion, my God honest opinion. Okay, and that is that we are in some type of 4th wave. I still believe we're in a type of a 4th wave. Why? because nothing has changed as far as the bigger picture here, right? When I look at this, I look at that as a wave 2. This was a running flat in wave 2. I know exactly what it is, and I know the degree of which it is, right? And then following this, I have a 5-wave leg, and now I have some sort of triple combo correction here. And that, my friends, remember we were just doing this yesterday. So if I take the top of this all the way down to approximately the bottom, that's about 150 days. Okay? So how many days? So that's our guideline, right? That's our guideline. So how many days do we have here? So if I take it about to the top here and I come down, wow, we're at 148. Guys, come on. This is like too perfect almost in a sense, right? Because we're right at 148 days. Okay, so this is like textbook perfect, right? Now, did I know it was going to do that? No, I did not expect, right? I'm not coming out here saying I know this, I know that, I'm better than this and that. No, I'm just going based off of what I see. And what I see at the time, right, is a 3-wave correction and a 5-wave move, and what I thought could be an ABC pullback. Obviously, that didn't turn into an ABC, it turned into an impulse. Okay? So, the reason the reason why this is collapsing again is because of what's going on in the stock market, the debt market, the dollar, right? I mean, look at Japan, right? The Japanese stock market, right? I mean, that has nothing to do with crypto, yet crypto is taking a hit because of it, right? Because people sell their crypto to cover their margin. And that's just what crypto is, a high risk asset. So when a low risk asset gets killed, what do people do? They sell their high risk asset to cover their ASS, right? So, that's just what it is, right? And by the way, this correction is very rare. It's not like you see this every day, right? Usually it's a WXY and that's it. It's a 3-wave move. But to come up and get another X, and then to come back down and get another, and to get a Z, that's rare. This is a triple combo correction. This is very rare, right? I mean, yes, it happens, on the smaller time frames kind of quite a bit because you have more setups. But when you look at the macro chart, I don't see anywhere where that's happened except I think a little bit over here. Let's see, WXY. No, not even over here. It's pretty rare is what I'm saying. Except right here, right? We had a W, we had an X, we had a Y, and then we had another X, and then we had a Z. Okay? And I would actually, I don't know if I would put this one here. I think I would, it really, I guess it's kind of subjective. I'll have to look at more into that and see how I would place that. But essentially, it's the same thing. We have a WXYXZ, okay? So,